All right, so back to this page. Welcome to 201. I'm gonna do a line for the people who would like to be in some higher positions. But real quick, I want to touch on the theory of why we're doing any of these things to begin with here, and why teams do them. And really, every fight we have, there is an advantage. Someone has an advantage. It could be no advantage, but rarely is that the case. And often the defenders have the advantage. They're set up where they want. But you want to do your best on maps to take that away from them. That's why we don't engage at silly spots. So for instance, easy example, go back to Anubis, which has this setup. They're on this platform. Why don't we just attack? We run in and attack. Why not? Right? Well, we know why not, because could we win the battle? Yeah, we could win. Sure. We definitely could win just doing that. But the odds are not in our favor, that's for sure. They have a very massive defensive advantage here, and they're on the high ground. They can hit us easier. We're more open. They have more defense to duck behind. Whenever you're in high ground, you can use as defense. Our melee attackers can't get up that ledge. They can jump down whenever they want, choosing their time to attack. So no one's never does that because it's so obvious. Okay, but that's the idea, right? If you just look at the map and where I have the two teams kind of positioned, if I were just draw these in space, in the middle of nowhere with no map, it would be like, okay, they look evenly matched. It's 50-50, but obviously the terrain comes into example. And so that's what we're trying to do on attack. The idea is we're doing moves, okay, up to the hall and to the ledge. So when we're all up on the ledge, all six of us, and they're all down below us, now that fight's different. Although the formations are ready, hopefully theirs isn't. Maybe we've done something really cool with the formation. They're out of formation, but our formation's ready to attack. And when we do it, we have an advantage to win. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to establish an advantage first. That's why we move and we don't fight along the way. We just try to get to that place. It's like the most convenient would be if we could just teleport, literally just teleport other people and start wherever we wanted on the map. Then we'd start up there. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to start up here, okay? But we're just trying to waste a few 10 seconds to change up the map to start there. All right, so you're going to be responsible for giving, we're going to call this the team lead. This can be one of the tanks. They have usually the best view of the enemy setup. So these will come from the tanks, usually the Reinhardt, except for retreat. And I'm going to talk about why that's going to fall to a different position. But if you are the first position, we're going to call team lead, and they are going to be calling these things out: the regroup location, defend points, move, again, which we know what a move is, versus an attack or a hold. And it's, why are they holding? I don't know. But they either hold, they're waiting for a pick. They're waiting for something to develop, an overextension, or they're waiting for Tracer to touch point on Volskaya 1. And then they decide to attack right, attack left, move left of truck. You got to be ready for these orders and know how to follow them. So I'm going to have 3 positions that are optional. You don't have to do any of them. Team lead, if you're trying to develop into a tank, you probably want to consider. Other than that, I don't want to force anybody into anything. These are all optional ideas, and they're all going to be a little tiny different. And I've broken these down based on a little bit of trial and error, a little bit of suggestion from some of the team members, and then a little bit on videos I've watched. And I think I have an idea of how I want to put these in here. So team lead, we talked about, they're in charge of the real field maneuvers. Okay, they can also, so they're in charge of moving, and also they're going to be in charge of targeting. They can be in charge of targeting who to target down. We're all going to be in charge of, everyone's in charge of call outs. Every person on the team should be calling out things they see, but not who to target. That's for the team lead. And I'm going to also put it for now in the terms, also in the hands of the commander. It means you have two people yelling out targets. Hopefully they yell out the same target, in which you realize that the target's doubly important. If they're yelling out two different targets, there's probably two good targets. And so that's kind of how I'm going to leave it. They can both call out targets. If they both call out different targets, pick the one you can kill fastest. I know it's not focusing one down. If it's that important of a target, they'll both pick it. I know that's kind of a weird system, but I want to start with that. So team lead's in charge of moving around the field and all those things I talked about previous. Commanders are going to be in charge of the big picture. They're going to be in charge of composition on the map. So explaining what the composition is, explaining any overall plans. This often happens on point Bs, where the idea is we want to go in with 5 or 6 ults or use our ults for cleanup. Okay, that's kind of a command thing, right? And they're going to be in charge of alt economy. So the alt economy will be their thing. So that's something they can watch while the team lead's doing everything else. And they can talk about if you're moving, command say, all right, let's move. We're going to move in with Zarya, Hanzo, and then Shatter will come mid-fight, something like that. So their composition and alt. Okay. So team lead is going to be they're in charge of shouting out movements and targets, and again, not retreat. That is going to be for the commander. And the reason I'm doing that is I'm kind of anticipating that the commander is in the backfield a little bit more and can assess the situation, while the focus of the tank is usually high in making the movement decision. So the decision to make the final retreat is going to come from the commander. And the commander's in charge of comps. Targets as well, he's allowed to do in fight. He's going to be in charge of the alt economy and the alt strategy. And he's also going to be in charge of assignments, which is a little bit different. The targets assignments are things that are assigned beforehand. Like Winston, you're keeping Genji, okay, soldiers on Pharah, that kind of thing. And coaches are going to want to keep to the highest ranked players. Colby, I know, is talking about it, but these will be either for bigger game map stuff later on, or a lot for just different heroes that people are good at. I'm going to have them maybe do some side coaching on player to player, just, real kind of gold level stuff to get through gold, movement, those kind of things on particular heroes. I'm not going to pretend that I'm for this too. What I'm talking about for coaches is I'm really talking about I really like to be talking about diamond level players. Okay, diamond level play. When they say, oh, I can play any hero, I'm going to ask at diamond level. Okay, and none of us can do probably a lot of the heroes at diamond level, if not any of them. I don't think I'm quite there yet. I'm getting closer with Reinhardt, I think. But that's about it, because I practice him a lot. So we all need help, but we're going to leave that for the highest ranked players, or the highest stats in a particular thing, or something that someone does super right. And that should be it, I think, for this video, just kind of breaking down what the 3 things are going to be and what they're going to be in charge of. So, you can always let me know which one you're most interested in. And, tanks, obviously, team lead's going to be important for them. But if you want to do kind of be in charge of command and the higher philosophy of things on alt economy, definitely go to it. And if you're a higher ranked player, I'd love if you can help or ranked players. And we'll put you as an official coach on a hero once we kind of make a hero roster. Cool.